What's going
Oh,
on?
okay. Ah, all is good, my end. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
Hopefully we can have a reasonable conversation. I've not been terribly lucky of late with the people I've spoken to, but I get the feeling you're actually a little bit more serious. So we might
Absolutely.
actually good. Um, yeah, I'm really pleased to hear that. Before we begin, do you mind if I always do this at the start of a video to just to get it down? Are you okay that we can both record?
Yeah.
And
Yep. I was going to ask you the same thing.
okay, yeah, well, I'm cool with it, and we can both publish wherever we like, but as long as it's unedited.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Brilliant, thank you. If it turns out, if for example there is a moment where we decide we need to have a break for 5 minutes, I'll ask you again if we can agree to cut out the dead air. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, cool. All right. Just it's just easier that way, and we can both be confident the other one's not going to manipulate it and all of that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'd originally asked for a debate, and then we agreed we can't really do that with the
Right.
setups that we've got, but we can have a discussion. And you asked if we could start with opening statements.
Yeah,
Um, I'm cool with that. Mine's going to be fairly short, so shall I just start with mine and then over to you? Is that okay?
absolutely, man.
All right. Okay. Well, I wrote down what you originally put on Facebook, which was, "Can I get a baby murdering, homo affirming, degenerate atheist to debate? Formal live debate, so you all can't just hit the laugh reaction and run away like you always do." And I think
Correct.
I said, "Well, no, but you can have me." Um, so I think what I want to say as my opening statement that partly refers to that, but only obliquely, is what I call the God Club rules, which is that if you are a member of the God Club has rules. Okay, if you don't like sex before marriage, don't do it. If you don't like homosexuality, don't do it. If you don't like gay marriage, don't have one. If you don't like abortion, don't have one. But it's not appropriate for the God Club to impose its rules on people who are not its members. And to be honest,
Okay.
that's my opening position. That's it. We'll see where we go from there.
I had a feeling that was what you were going to say.
I did sort of warn you about it a bit, I think, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from, really.
Okay. And I had a feeling, it would be something like that, something from like live and let live or empathy, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. I prepared just like it should be only a couple minutes, just that way I can get everything that I've been thinking out. And I'll let you know right now that this is my first live debate, so we have that honor together,
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I feel very privileged.
or not even debate, really, conversation, we'll say,
Yeah.
right? All right. So, I mean, today I think that what's going to happen is the real disagreement is going to be not really so much about policy, but it's going to be about worldviews, right? The fundamental
Okay.
lens through which we're going to interpret reality, what humans are, you know, uh, what they're for, what society is even good for, what the meaning of good and evil even are. My opponent,
Okay.
you, not really an
Yep.
opponent, I guess, but would you say that that you represent like a secular materialist worldview?
Um. This is going to sound like an awful cop out, but just the way you phrased the question, um, I'd need to define what you mean by worldview before I can really answer that, because I find Christians have so many different ideas about what worldview means. But I'll give you my answer as
Fair
best
enough.
I can, which is I am a secularist. I am a methodological naturalist. So, in that sense, I am a materialist because that's all I've got to work with.
Right.
I see no reason to believe in the supernatural, for example. But that doesn't mean that I believe there isn't one. I just don't have any reason to believe there is. I am open to be surprised. So that's probably the best and
Huh.
fairest answer I can give you.
So do you deny like transcendent meaning? Like any type of transcendence, things that transcend what space, time, things like this?
Um,
Universality?
Again, it's not that I'm an agnostic atheist in that I don't believe there's a God. I don't know that there isn't. And in the same way, I've no reason to believe in what most people mean when they talk about the transcendent or the numinous, I think might be an appropriate word here.
So
Um,
can I
I've
let me try to
seen
sorry, breaking up a little bit. Cutting out. There you go. Wait,
is that better now?
can you hear me? Uh
I
yeah,
can
I
hear
mean,
you
it's
fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
I can't Oh, okay, yeah, it looks better now. No, you just looked like you were cutting out on my end. Anyways, so worldview. If do you presuppose that there is no God? You said you don't know if there is or not, but
No,
for me, no, you don't presuppose that there is no God. So when I think of a
let me give you it the
worldview,
way that
it's
I
kind of
normally
like,
do.
what was that?
But there seems to be a delay. So, well, I'd stopped for you, but then there was a delay. So I think you then stopped for me. So let me say what I was going to say, which is
Yeah, yeah,
let
yeah.
me give you the way I normally explain it, which is I do not believe in any God, for example, that I have ever heard of. I do not know that there is not some cowardly deity hiding behind an asteroid somewhere near Betelgeuse, but I've no reason to believe that there is. Some of the gods that I've heard of, I have no reason to believe in, and that's as far as it goes. I'm an agnostic atheist. Other gods that I've heard of, I absolutely believe do not exist and could not exist. But I won't say that I know there is nothing there because I don't know everything. I have no reason to believe, though.
Okay. Well, what I'm hearing in that is that you're already presupposing a created universe. You're saying a God
No,
behind an
not at all.
asteroid. Well, even all the
I think,
gods you've heard of, there's only one that exists outside of all of that. Just listen for a second. So, the God that we believe in, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I've been doing a lot of diving in. The ultimate divine rational ordering principle of the universe, the logos. Have you looked into Greek philosophy at all?
I wouldn't say I'm a great student of Greek philosophy. I am a practicing Stoic, but I don't think that's the
I did
element
see
of
that.
Greek philosophy you're talking about. Um, I mean, I understand what you mean by the logos.
Okay. So when the early Christian fathers talk about it, and I kind of when I interpret that and I conceptualize it, the highest good, God, is at the top, ultimate coherence, just like perfection. As in reality is layered in hierarchies. Now, humans, we exist as the moderator of these different hierarchies or realms, like if you want to use that term, just to help understand. Human beings exist on on to be like moderators, like we exist on all these realms. That's why when they talk about humans beings being elevated above the angels exist in a purely intelligible realm. They don't have physical bodies. Now think about what like a worldview is a bunch of different purposes, intents, ideas that you put together that in turn will then shape everything you see. The facts of reality will rearrange themselves to fit that worldview. It's like a cup and water fills that cup. It's the possibilities are out there. There is only one objective, fully objective good, and that breaks down, and as it goes down in this hierarchy, it goes into disorder. That was the fall, when humanity chose the physicality instead of the ultimate, like when they were first made to be doing God's work, right? Like, and hold on, I don't know, like, I'm not perfect with this yet, but try to see where I'm going. Now, human beings, because what is mind to you? Now, let me keep going for a second. Mind, we exist on two different realms because we exist with the angels and with people. And I might be saying this wrong, but just for the sake of argument, try to go with me. When we grab a purpose out of this intelligible realm, that purpose then aligns the facts of what we see. If I go to where you're at right now, and we're friends, I'm going to see the facts of your house in a certain way. I'm going to see your door as welcoming. I'm going to see the pictures of your family, and I'm going to see love and whatever. Now, if I'm a thief and I pull the purpose down of robbing you, it therefore rearranges the facts that I see in your house. Now I see escape routes, I see valuables, I see weapons. You know what I mean? So that is how, and it goes way, way deeper than that. That's just like a simple way. But when we have a worldview, it's a bunch of those things that then rearrange the facts of what we see. And that is how you and I can look at the exact same data and see completely different things. I used to be an agnostic atheist, and I followed that all the way to its logical conclusion of the ultimate form of like existential nihilism. Like I would tap on a table and say, who the hell can tell me that this is real? Nobody. Can you prove? Okay. Have you ever heard this question posited to you? If I
Yeah,
told you,
it's Cartesian.
not that one, but if I told you that the universe was created last week with everything intact, all our
Yeah, it's an
genealogies,
old one.
I know, but the thing is, how could you prove that wrong?
I couldn't, but I have no
I
reason
know it
to believe
sucks.
it. But I
But
have
now
no reason to believe it.
true, that was kind of off topic. I don't even know I said that. But go back to what I was saying
Well,
before.
can I go back a minute? Because
Yeah, yeah.
right at the start of this last bit of speech, you made a statement and didn't let me correct it. You said that I believe in an ultimate creator. No, I don't. Now you can carry on, but I need you to correct that because I don't believe that.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Well, that was it. I just
Oh,
wanted to correct that one point you made
I
before you continue. I do not believe in a being that created the universe.
yeah, I hear you. But
Okay.
I mean, at that point, at that point, hold on. At that point, it becomes a battle of worldviews. Whose worldview is going to map onto reality the best, be the best for human flourishing, which we would have to define? Who, like, what's going to lead to better families, better societies, if you want to go utility, because it seems
Well,
like
you're
that's the
just
only way
writing
that,
down the word utility at the moment.
well, I mean, how else if you don't believe in any type of transcendent meaning? What would you say good and bad is?
Well, that's not what I wrote utility down for. As far as I'm concerned, utility is less important than truth.
Agreed.
Otherwise, we might as well go into Plato's noble lie. That, yeah, it might organize society to have people believe in all this nonsense, but it's still nonsense. So before we get to utility, I think we need to actually have some sense of what we think is accurate.
Okay, and what do you think is truth? How do you,
I
how do
think that
you, wait. How do you even, how do you account for a universal grounding? a abstract thing called logic that doesn't change and helps you determine what it even say right now. If your
Logic
brain
is a
was
way that we
developed to survive a tiger attack, why on earth would you trust it to determine what cosmic truth is?
well, I wouldn't necessarily.
Hallucinating?
That's why I wouldn't necessarily, which is why I'm an agnostic atheist. I don't claim to know.
So what are we arguing?
Please let me finish what I'm saying. However, I would need to have some reason to believe something before I'll accept it.
Okay, and what would qualify for reason to you if you don't do utility or any type of like what would meaning mean to you? Like what
Well, I
would
think
that
that
be?
meaning will depend to a great extent on context. If you're talking about what, for example, is the meaning of my life, well, it's what I've chosen it to be, which is to help other people and to be an anti-racist and anti-Nazi
Why is
advocate,
that good?
because I choose to call it good.
So it's your preferences.
It's my preference based upon if you want to get into the basis of my morality, which is absolutely subjective, I have chosen at the sort of the base of my morality, I have chosen that the avoidance of harm and
Consent.
ministrations to reduce the level of suffering are positive things. Therefore, my morality is based upon the avoidance of harm. And
What's
everything else,
harm? Am I harming myself at the gym?
um, it seems that you're coming from this assumption that these things have a nice, easy dichotomous definition, and they don't.
I'm not coming. I'm asking you.
Well, I will say that it's whatever appears on balance to be.
So, so your subjective measure, what makes, are you trying to impose, do you want other people to follow your subjective measure?
Absolutely not. I'm not asking you not to be a Christian, am I? And that's harmful in my view.
Asking people not to be a Christian? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did see a little bit of social work on your channel.
What do you mean?
It looked like you were a social worker or something. You had
I'm a
a
nurse. I'm a
social
mental health
work.
nurse.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah,
mental
yeah.
health nurse.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I'm trying to stop people being Christians. I have a
No, it
number of
just
Christians on the caseload, and I work with them within that context because it's not about me, it's about them and their needs.
toward what though?
Sorry?
What are you trying what are you trying to heal?
I'm trying to
Like,
work with people who have mental disorders and help them to overcome or manage the problems that they have.
they need to
That's
transform
got
the
nothing to do
problems they
with
have. It does because it's a spiritual problem. It's not
okay,
material,
you can
man. I know I was a heroin addict for 13 years,
no.
went to fucking 13 rehabs, bro. I went to 13 rehabs. I studied psychology, got my associate's degree. I got started going into sociology, and I realized it is an affirmation of victimhood. We need to transcend our suffering and point it towards something good, not into our own personal pride and ego and what makes us feel good. Personal responsibility, duty, honor. These are things that rebuild
Stop a
people and
minute. You
communities.
need to stop a minute. Stop. You are going off on a rant about
No,
something that is not what I do anyway. I'm not
you
into
just
ego
said
things.
you help.
One of
Go
the
ahead.
most important messages I bring to people is that no one is special. No one is more important than anyone else. How is that about ego stuff?
What
You're
does
going
that
off on a
have to
rant
do with
about something you
anything?
do not understand.
Do you understand that an individualistic framework, your problems are most people's problems stem from ego, pride, and selfishness. Depression is a disease of selfishness. Dude, I know. I went through it my whole life. It was always, I'm not where I want to be. I don't have people aren't treating me the way I want them to treat me. I didn't get what I wanted. Society sucks and needs to accommodate to me. I don't need to change for the world. The world's the one that's wrong. Religion just wants to control me. Dude, I was anti-Christian. I studied the ways to go against it for so long, and I had no idea why. And I think you need to, because your whole channel is about leading people away from God.
It's about helping people to see the reality of
That you
Christianity.
are
Yeah.
saying that Christianity doesn't exist right now. You just said it.
No, Christianity exists.
As what?
You're a
A fake
Christian.
thing that people made up to feel good
It,
about
it's
themselves?
a false belief, yeah, in my view, yeah, absolutely. And it's a very dangerous and divisive belief,
Do
in
you know
my
what
view.
else is
And yeah,
dangerous and divisive?
I will
Woke
absolutely
ideology,
oppose this.
affirming mental illness.
Okay, I thought we were going to be talking about religion.
We
I'm really
are.
not. I'm
This
not
is my
really.
framework.
Okay, I'm not really interested in your ill-informed opinion of
How is it
what I
ill-informed
do.
of opinion? I have stats right here sitting next to me if you want to start going into
You
them.
you are trying to tell me what I do, and then tell me
No,
that
no,
it's
no.
wrong, and
No,
you are
we're nope, nope,
incorrect
nope.
about what I do.
I don't care what you do. I'm telling whoever's going to see this what needs to happen and how their pain is going to disappear. And it's not by just continuing
All
and
right, well, tell you
reliving their
what.
pain and talking about it. They have to
No, it's
transform their
not. That's
pain
not what
with
I do.
meaning.
That's not
What?
what I do, Joshua. I'm not a
I'm not.
psychoanalyst.
Are you a mental health nurse?
Yeah, but I'm a British mental health nurse. We're very different from the
Do you
American
teach
person.
people that Christianity is fake?
No,
Did you
not
not
at
just
work.
try to
No,
teach people that right now?
not at work. No, because that's not what I'm employed to do.
Do you treat them as if they're little children believing in a fairy tale?
No, I don't.
I bet you do, dude.
See, that's the thing. You have no idea what I do for a living.
You
If I
called
did,
it a child. What did you call it a minute ago?
probably
A
an
child.
incorrect or a false belief or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And who believes it?
Oh, quite a lot of people believe it.
Yeah, why do they believe it?
Well, you've obviously had a look at my YouTube. Well, I know you did 'cause you said so. If you have a look at the one where I say Christianity is not a mental illness, if you look at that, you'll get my explanation of why people believe it, and it's because we are all irrational. And one of the
Then
ways
why
that
do you think you can talk to me and have a higher place of rational than me
well,
if we're all irrational?
I don't. That's the point. I don't.
Okay, I hope
But
everyone who's going to see this understands that if you do not stand somewhere, if you don't believe in something, you will fall for anything or not believe anything, and that's how
no,
you
that's
fall into disorder and
uh,
decay.
Joshua. Please stop strawmanning me. That
I'm not
doesn't mean I
strawmanning.
don't.
I was talking
That
to the audience.
Yeah, on the back of what I just said and clearly linking them with the word, okay, I hope everybody sees. Now, I am saying that I am fallible, but that doesn't mean I
I
don't
am as
stand
well.
for anything. It means that I accept that I may be wrong.
Is Christianity a false belief?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
You could be wrong, though.
Yeah, of course I could.
You are wrong.
Well, you say that, but I disagree. Perhaps
Why?
you'd give me some evidence for why I'm
Why?
wrong, rather than trying to claim that
Hey,
you
I
understand
can
what I
give you
do for
some
a living.
evidence. I can give you some evidence that your materialist framework is completely wrong, and then we can try to take it to God after that if you want.
Well, okay, but please understand that when you asked me the materialist thing, I did point out that I am a methodological naturalist. I'm not a philosophical naturalist or materialist. So you can if you like, but again, don't strawman me.
Okay, so what do you believe a human being is? What is good and bad, dude? Do you believe that homosexuality should be propagated as normal?
Which of those questions do you want me to answer?
Answer the latter, since you wanted to talk about my Facebook thing, you are the
Oh, okay,
homo
all right,
affirming, right?
all right. I think that homosexuality is none of my business, frankly. There have been
Is
people who had,
incest your business or pedophilia?
yeah, because they cause harm.
And does homosexuality cause harm to society as a whole?
No, not at all. Not between consenting adults can do what they like, as far as I'm concerned, in that regard.
If every single human being on Earth turned gay tomorrow, would the human race be okay?
Well, we've had an awful lot of generations of people having same-sex relationships without everybody
Every
turning gay.
single person on Earth. Let's follow it to its logical
Yeah, but
conclusion.
what I'm saying though is that's not a logical conclusion because it's a very silly, slippery slope fallacy.
No, no, no. It's a hypothetical.
No, there is no reason to believe that everybody is going to turn gay.
Are you going to engage with the hypothetical?
And there is no reason to believe it's at all likely. Yeah, go on.
There is absolutely no reason to believe that the world is what you say or that we should listen to you. Not one reason.
I haven't
Yeah,
really said what the
by
world
your
is
own
yet.
admission, you're irrational. You don't believe in anything, and you're not
We're
trying to
all
impose your beliefs.
irrational.
You don't think people should listen to you.
We are all irrational. And I didn't say people shouldn't listen to me. I believe that I have things to say. One of them is an honest
Sh
acknowledgement that,
should
like
we try to be
everybody else,
rational?
will you please allow me to finish? I keep
Yeah, go
allowing you
ahead.
to finish.
Go ahead.
One of the elements of that intellectual honesty is the awareness. You've studied psychology. You will presumably understand about evolutionary psychology and heuristics like the agency fallacy, the agency detection. You will understand about that we are pattern seekers. You will understand about the
Hmm.
heuristics
Why are we
that
pattern seekers?
are responsible for pretty much every conspiracy theory, because they're just based on the same heuristics, and also religions for exactly the same reasons. We all have those evolved heuristics, and that's why we all are susceptible to believe nonsense. That's the whole reason
Is that
why
a truth statement? Is that a universal truth statement?
I believe it is, yeah. That's the
Did
whole
you
reason
don't believe in
why.
universals, do
I'm
you?
nearly finished. Please let me finish. I keep letting
Oh my
you finish.
goodness. Fallacy after fallacy, dude.
Well, I do keep letting you finish. That's why, for example, we have a scientific method. It's to try and factor out those heuristics and cognitive biases. You mentioned logic earlier. Logic is a formal way that we have devised to try to factor out the evolved heuristics and confirmation and other biases that we are prone to because that's our species.
So we made it up.
We identified rules. I mean, there's a whole debate in
Oh,
philosophy about
we
whether or
discovered
not.
it.
Well, that's the whole debate in philosophy,
Yeah,
isn't
we
it? Whether
did.
we discovered or created logic. Yeah, I don't.
I believe we did.
I don't profess to have the answer to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying because you have no belief, because you don't
No,
see
I have
fact.
many
That's
beliefs.
how your facts are. Listen, this is what the debate's all about. Is we're going to keep arguing back and forth, bro, because we have different worldviews, and you have chosen not to believe in God. It's already in your presuppositions,
No,
and
I
you're
didn't
denying it.
choose. I actually tried quite
How do
hard.
you account for the uniformity of nature and the universality of logic? And you can't just say we made them up because you're trusting them to make decisions that harm people. And you just said we're
Joshua,
irrational. Should we try to
Joshua,
be rational?
Joshua, we agreed that we were going to have a conversation.
We are.
Every time I try to answer one of your questions, you let me get a fraction of the way through it and then go off with something else on another pivot. Can you please do me the decency of allowing me to answer the questions that you ask?
Yes, I can.
Now, which of the dozen or so questions that you've given me in a gish gallop do you want me to address?
To readdress them again, you appealed to logic. You made a universal truth claim about
Yep.
something that you claim you want, what, empirical evidence to believe in something? Can you
No,
empirically
that's not
make
what
a
I said.
universe? Okay, well, then what is your subject or what's your standard of evidence?
My standard of evidence is that it needs to comport with reality as far as we can ascertain what that is. Now, that might be empirical evidence. It could equally be a damn good argument.
Okay. And could it also be
But a damn good
concepts?
argument is not just a claim that God did it.
Nobody's just saying God did it.
You might as well say the wizard did it.
You might as well just say, I don't know. I have no idea. Josh, you're probably right.
Well, what I actually have said is that I have certain beliefs, but I do not pretend to know everything. And I accept that I can be wrong. That doesn't mean that I've got no clue. It certainly doesn't mean that I believe that you are right in your theism.
You
It
could have
simply
just
means
said,
that,
myself. I'm my standard of evidence. If it makes sense to me and I like it, I believe it.
well, isn't that true for you as well?
No, not at all. I actually did not want to believe in Christianity. I chose to go back to the
Well,
oldest thing I can
oddly
think of
enough,
that still existed.
oddly enough, I didn't choose to be an atheist.
Oddly
I was
enough,
quite.
you actually did. Just like I chose not to believe in anything.
Now, you don't choose your beliefs.
I just told you that I chose to believe in Christianity and see what happened.
Right. That means you chose to pretend you believed it to see what
No, no,
happened.
no. I
You
chose
can,
to be
you cannot.
obedient
Yeah, all right.
and
You chose to act
and
as though
trust.
you chose to act as though you believed.
And it
Belief is when
worked.
you belief is when you are convinced something is true.
This lines up with more than just going and doing participating in the church and the icons and the
And
frankincense and all that. That works all together, by the way, physiologically, psychologically, everything, dude. Like spiritually, when you go there, there is transformation. I personally believe in a soul. Human beings are spirit and mind and body.
I have no reason to believe in a soul.
Exactly. And that's where their worldview's gone. That's where we're differing. Because I
No,
believe human beings have, that's why we are rational. That's why we can use reasoning, because it's grounded in the logi of creation, which are the words of God, the ideas of God that
well,
imprint and create our reality.
that's a claim that you have made. Can you give me a reason to believe that it might be true?
Because that is how we experience reality. And if you look at it in good faith, using contemplation in good faith, and you know what, dude, maybe, you have to get all in order for me to do that, I literally had to make a physical choice to erase everything. Because, dude, I was at the end. And I was like, I need to destroy everything I ever learned, and whatever happens, happens. And something did happen. And then when I chose I started first of all, I started looking into um uh way, way, way back to like the Buddhists and the Eastern Bhagavad Gita's and the Veda. And I started looking into the Greeks. Dude, I realized, first of all, that the structure of the father is the problem with, first of all, the whole West right now. They're fatherlessness is the problem. And if fatherlessness is the problem, and on the micro scale, let's macro that up. We just, and our whole society in the West, we have eliminated the father. And we are all running around like freaking uh, single parent kids doing whatever we want, going to jail, ruining the world. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It's called what? Man writ large. We are a microcosm, and it scales up because we are human beings, creatures of pattern. And the more we participate in disorder, the more disorder patterns itself into all of our lives, spreading to everyone else's life around us.
Well, we are a social species, so we do impact each other, but we impact each other in positive ways as well as negative.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And that's why we believe the prayers of a righteous
Okay.
man availeth much. We believe
So
if
none of
you
this,
become saved, 1,000 around you will become saved.
what you believe that doesn't mean it's true. And what I'm asking you
We
for is a reason
experience
to
that.
agree
We
with you.
watch
And
it
so far, you're just
happen.
telling me what you believe. Well, I don't.
You're telling me what you believe. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. And I'm asking you, why should I agree with you? And you're just restating your beliefs.
I'm telling
Why
you,
should I
yeah,
agree?
because this is how we experience reality. This is mapping on to how we experience reality. This is part of my initial worldview. Now, and I'm explaining to the audience how we are able to see completely different things, is what I'm doing.
Well, of course, because we have different schema. So of
Right. And
course,
I want to see people as more than just meat computers, accidental primate goo, primal goo, freaking evolution creatures that, first of all, I reject evolution completely. So
okay. So what is your view of how all of this came to be?
well, if you take the theory of evolution and all the species and the common ancestor and all of the data, and you compress that, it's the timeline that I don't agree with. Compress that into microseconds in a instantaneous unfolding of creation, where different layers of reality folded in on themselves. I don't know how to explain it, but blah 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 blah. And all of that because of the fall, all of that thickened into the material plane that we exist in today. That's why human beings exist on like the spiritual plane and the physical plane because we have the intellect, we also have the spirit, and we also have the body. We have the breath of God, which is the spirit, which is life itself. There's the possibility to be alive and autonomous.
Okay, so that's your explanation. Now, why should I believe that it's true?
Why not? It's the evidence. If you look at it from that world, you don't prove your presuppositions, bro. You use your presuppositions to prove everything else. That's why a good faith
No, no,
argument, you
no,
have
no,
to
no, no.
start with the worldview
Yeah,
and then lead it
there
out.
are there are necessary axioms, but
And what's
your,
yours?
your stuff about God and souls and spirits, they're not axiomatic. You can't just say, "Oh, I believe it because it's a worldview." Why do you believe it? Why is that your worldview?
You start with God. God is good. Follow that
That's
out.
not
Every single
axiomatic.
what?
That's not an axiom, though, is it? Why would we be? You said that you start with foundational beliefs or something along those lines.
I
That's an
subscribe to the
axiom,
teachings of the Orthodox Church. So, first of
right?
all, if
So
I have
that's
said
why.
anything wrong, first of all, if I've said
That's
anything
why
wrong,
that's your
I can
belief,
be
then.
corrected on that. Huh?
So that's why it's your belief. It's because you subscribe to.
Because I'm studying it and it makes sense of everything.
Well, yeah, okay, but that's. Have you heard the concept of a just so story?
A gist or a
A
story?
just so.
Oh, a just soul?
No, Justo.
Gusto? Oh, no, I have not.
All right. The concept of a just so story is Roald Dahl wrote quite a lot of them. It's things like How the Leopard Got Its Spots. And it's this children's tale about how, I can't remember how it worked now, but some leopard had no spots and then something happened and he got all spotty, and that's why all leopards have got spots. It explains very well within its own narrative how leopards got spots, but
Yeah,
with no reason to believe it. It was a kid's story.
what's your point?
When you say that the Eastern Orthodox Church explains everything, okay, well, so does the Aboriginal Dreamtime myth.
There you
But
go,
that
bud. That's
doesn't,
what the whole debate's about. What worldview maps onto reality the best?
right. And so I'm asking you for a
Worldviews are
reason.
stories.
So I'm asking you for a reason to believe it.
I just gave you some. My worldview
Okay.
provides much better outcomes for society, civilization as a whole, families, communities, individuals, dogs, dude. What else do you want?
Well, Tell me again what you think about gay people.
I think it is a deviation from the mark. Christ, the perfection, the ideal, which we should be striving for, and who gave us a map of reality, how to be, how to behave, how to love, how to do everything. It is a deviation from what is Christ, which is perfection. So disorder, which was labeled as until what, like 1987 by elite group of feminist push, what is it, Rockefeller or something?
No, it was the
Yeah, and then
DSM.
abortion also was pushed by feminists and Rockefeller. So
No,
depopulationists, by the way.
right, it had nothing to do with Rockefeller or feminists. It was the DSM in America in '83.
I'm aware
We
it was the
thought that
DSM. The policy
the
was changed by
the
elites
rest
pushing for social change.
the rest of the world, in terms of whether or not it's defined as a mental disorder, caught up in 1992 with the ICD-10.
Exactly. And then what started happening to society ever since then?
Actually, statistically, society's
Birth
doing
rates
quite
started
well.
going down. We started having to get immigration, ruining our societies. Yeah.
We've always had immigration.
At this level,
Your whole
at
society,
demographic replacement levels.
your whole society is based upon demographic replacement.
No, no, it's
You
not.
just you just used religion to justify it. You called it manifest destiny.
No, I did not. And those were not Orthodox Christians.
Well, they were Christians.
No, they were whatever they want to say. Just like a man cannot be a woman, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't make it true.
Um, I don't know of any man who thinks that he can change his biological sex at birth in that sense. I know an awful lot of men who have chosen to change their gender.
You're dishonest.
No, I'm not.
You've never seen it. You've never
Uh,
seen a
my
debate.
my son is a trans man. Don't
Oh,
tell
you
me I've
failed
never
as a
said that.
parent, dude. You fucking
No, I
failed.
didn't
Yeah, you
fail as a
did. Yeah,
parent.
you did.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
you did.
See, this is the sort of bigotry that demonstrates
No, dude.
why
Love does not
your religion is
affirm
not a
mental
benefit to
illness. You should
society.
have helped him. Instead, you said, I don't want to deal with this. Go ahead, do whatever you want. Just the same thing as people do with their kids when they're
No,
addicts, and then their addicts end up in a graveyard.
right, we spent something between 12 to 15 years having really major heart-to-heart conversations about this. I didn't fail him at all. But at the end of the day, it's not my life, it's his.
Yeah, so you don't care.
That's not what I said at all.
You
I
just said
respect
it's
him.
not life, so I don't care. Do whatever you
No, I
want.
said no. I didn't say I don't care.
So
I
do
care
you
very
care?
deeply. I care
Do you
very
care that he
deeply.
did it? Do you think it was a good choice?
I think it was his choice to make.
When you're born, I was an addict for a very, very long
Yeah,
time.
you keep telling me that. Yeah. So what?
That was my burden to get over. That is how you become a man. It's not by giving in to your desire and your suffering and your disorder. It's by overcoming it and working towards the ideal, having something to work towards and some objective grounding of what is right and wrong.
There is no objective grounding to morality,
Exactly.
and you
That's
don't
your
have
whole
an.
point. Yes, I
And you?
do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay, tell me how your morality is objective.
God gave us, well, what do you mean? How is it not objective?
Well, no, you
I
tell me
be,
why you think it's objective, and then I'll. Because I don't want to knock down a straw man. Tell me what you actually think, and then I'll tell you why I
Murder is
disagree.
wrong.
I agree.
Stealing, well, okay, that one's a little different, but
Stealing is sometimes wrong.
no, in that in every single situation, there might be a different no, actually let me rephrase that. Let me think. An objective morality of what is right and wrong, and then saying that there is no right and wrong is different.
I
Now,
didn't say
I
there is
do
no right
have an
or wrong.
objective standard. My standard is God. And if it tracks on to what the fathers say, what the Orthodox Church says, if they say it's wrong, period.
So
And I get that through a
how
2,000 years of civilization.
then why did it change?
Why did what change? Nothing changed.
God's morality changed.
No, it didn't. The Orthodox Church is the same today as it was 2,000 years ago.
Okay, how do you feel then about I'm not going to do the slavery one because that's silly.
It is silly
Everybody,
because we're the
everybody
ones
did.
who ended it. So
Well, yeah, Christians fighting other Christians are having,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
dude. And no, not really. Actually, fighting Africans, fighting everyone.
All right, well, all right, we will do the slavery
What about
one
the
because,
Arabs too? What about the Arabs, huh?
all right, we will do the slavery one then. Have you, well, you tell me, um, what does your God say about slavery in Exodus and Leviticus? Sorry, Exodus and
Doesn't matter.
Deuteronomy.
Doesn't matter, dude. Are we in the Old
Why?
Testament?
Well, now,
Did
did not
did
Jesus
the Orthodox Church has a clear statement saying slavery is wrong. You cannot own somebody made in the image of God. What do you want?
Well, I want to know why it changed.
Well, because society. What do you mean? Why did it change? I don't think the Jews ever had
Well,
slaves.
why did God change it?
Or
Why did God change his mind? And yes, he did.
yeah, they did. But
Yeah.
it
So
wasn't
why
him
did God change
changing
his
his
mind?
mind.
So God still thinks it's okay then to have slaves.
I don't think so. No. Do you find any Christians who say
What?
that slavery is okay?
No, because it's changed. Because it's not objective.
I'd have to think about
It's
this for a
changing.
second because I can't
Yeah,
answer it
okay.
right now, but I have an objective standard of right and wrong right now. That is the Orthodox Church. The council, the synod, right? All of the bishops, if they get together and decide, you got to understand, you see, I'm not even going to get down this road with you because you have a different worldview. You have no beliefs at all, man.
No, I've got
And I
lots of
don't know
beliefs.
the
I just don't say
theology,
yours.
and I don't know the theology good enough to give you a whole rundown of every single part and digging the deepest parts
Don't,
into the
it's,
morality and everything.
don't need you to. We're just on about you claim it's objective. So
It
if it's
is.
objective,
If the
then
church says it's wrong, it's wrong.
right. So
Objective.
why did God change his mind?
I am not answering that, because I don't speak for God.
Right. But you're telling me, I think, unless I've misread you, you're saying that morality is objective because it
No, no,
comes
no.
from
Stop. Blah, blah, blah. I'm
okay,
saying without an objective standard in a person of right and wrong, their lives will go into disorder. Period. Because they will chase or make a god out of pleasure, desire, addiction, whatever substance they want, and they'll
okay.
sacrifice their love to it. Their sexuality, they'll make it encompass their entire person, and they'll
So,
sacrifice their entire
so,
life for it. Anyone, their relationships, everything.
so does it need to be God that sets the objective standard?
In my worldview, yes. Because if
Right.
not, who is it?
Well, that's a different
The
question.
majority. Yeah, exactly.
But
Answer
God,
it.
well, I want to go down this line. You say that God has to set the objective standard.
Yeah, and men of righteous standing who have been devoted their whole lives to God, called the archbishops, the Orthodox Church, will be the ones to decide that.
Right. And they've said that God sets the objective standard, have they not?
I do not know if that is exactly what they said because I don't. Here, you want me to look it up real quick?
You can do if you like.
Yeah, sure. So I don't want to misspeak or misrepresent it, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, the Orthodox Church teaches that morality is objective because it is rooted in the unchanging eternal nature of God rather than human opinion or cultural trends. There you go.
Right. So the unchanging eternal nature of
Yes,
God. So
Yes.
God's
So
morality doesn't
slavery
change.
was always wrong and humanity was fallen. Humanity in a fallen state was, and when back then, everyone was slaves. Every single person had slaves. They could not change the whole world. The Jews were an imperfect people used to bring about the word of God into the incarnation of Jesus Christ.
When the Jews left Egypt, the Hebrews,
I don't know why I was getting stumped earlier.
when the Hebrews left Egypt, they left slavery, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they own slaves?
At that time,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, presumably not. They were slaves.
Yeah, probably not.
So why then,
Because
in
they fell over
Exodus?
and over, repeat it.
So
Dude, do you even know what the
let me
golden calf
let me ask
is?
let me ask the
No,
question
man.
before you try to answer it.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Why then, in Exodus, which is the book that describes them leaving Egypt and setting off to the promised land, why does God tell them specifically that if you are settled in a place, you will genocide the people in the neighboring towns, but towns far away, you can give them a choice. Either they can be your slaves or you kill them all. Why does God tell them that they can buy slaves from
I
the
can't answer that.
right?
But
But you see, this is a changing morality, is it not?
no, it could have always been wrong. Policy does not determine morality.
So God tells them to do it, but that's not moral. Is that what you're saying?
If God tells them to do it, it is moral.
Right. And does God tell you to have slaves now?
What were those people doing? The ones that he
Um,
told them to slaughter?
they were living there.
Oh, they weren't doing any like human sacrifice or like weird, like sacrificing babies
Well,
and stuff.
actually, the Hebrews themselves were doing
And
human
what did God
sacrifice.
say about that?
He encouraged it. In fact, he
He,
demanded
he
it of
said,
Moses.
sacrifice your babies.
No, he demanded of Moses sacrifices. He also demanded
Babies.
that. He also demanded the sexual slavery of young girls. Read Numbers
No, he
31.
didn't.
Read Numbers 31.
Nope. Talking
Well,
about conquer nations or something.
I'm talking about specifically Numbers 31.
Dude, I do not have a complete memory of every single verse in the whole Bible, bro. And I don't care about all this. I do
Okay.
not care
What I'm
about
saying
all
though
this
is that
point.
what you're
I'm
telling me,
talking
what you're telling,
about worldviews
what
and
you're
what is
telling,
best for society. You're getting into
what.
theology and religion right now.
Look, listen. You made a case that
That my worldview is better than
that
yours for
you
society.
no. Let me finish. And really, it is so annoying that you don't let me finish a
Dude,
sentence.
steel man my freaking argument right now.
Okay, you made a case that your morality is objective
Nope.
because
The whole debate. The whole debate. I want to hear the whole
no,
debate.
no.
Yeah,
I'm
my
sorry.
worldview is better than yours for the successful flourishing of
Why are you
society,
running from
for
this?
our nation, for America.
All right, that's not my nation. I don't give a
The
toss about
Christians
America.
are the only ones who have the worldview capable of fighting back against the degeneracy and the decay of our nation that we're seeing.
Why are you running from this morality issue that you were so confident
I'm
about?
not. We
Then
have an
let me
objective
make my
morality,
point.
period.
Then let me make my point.
Does
You
God
win.
say in the Bible or or
You're
in the
not prepared to
law,
let me make my
in the
point, are you?
law, in the law, or does Jesus say that we are to own slaves?
Bear with me.
In the law of Christians,
Uh,
Christians,
it might be Matthew 5. Hang on.
that we are to own slaves.
It might be Matthew 5. Bear with me.
This guy is so
It's Matthew
dishonest, dude.
somewhere. Well,
It's
you
the
asked
most
me
bad
where. So
faith argument. Yeah,
you asked me.
you're just dishonest.
You asked me where, so I'm finding it. Right. It is Matthew 5, starting at verse 17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth. Until heaven and earth disappear, Not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. And everything will be accomplished when heaven and earth pass away.
Yeah, what's your
Have
point?
heaven and earth passed away yet? Therefore, Jesus is telling you to obey the law and the
Yeah,
prophets. Now,
did he didn't come to abolish it. He came to transform it and fulfill it,
no,
bringing
to
it into
fulfill,
fullness. The pen,
not to
dude, yes,
transform,
everything.
not not
Yeah,
transform. That's
dude. You
not what
don't
you
know my
said.
theology. You don't
You're
know
adding,
the. You do
you
not
are
know the
adding,
theology. You
you
don't
are
know the
adding, a,
theology.
you
Here,
are
bro.
adding a word
I'm
to
gonna
the
put it on the
text.
screen because you're too dumb to shut up.
It doesn't say transform. It says fulfill and not abolish.
What's fulfill mean?
Well, if, for example,
Well, in
if
my
I
worldview, whenever I say my meaning to the word, yeah, it's not you. It's the theologians who put the name or the meaning to the word, not you. God.
you ask me a question, let me answer it, please. If I get caught speeding and go to court and I get sentenced and convicted and sentenced for speeding, that
You're so
law
in
has
bad
been
faith, bro.
fulfilled. But it hasn't been abolished, it's just been fulfilled.
Yeah, Jesus fulfilled the law. And then what did he instill? What did he instill after that for people to follow?
You're ignoring the
I
first
didn't even look
paragraph.
at it yet. I didn't even look at it yet, but hold on.
You are
What did he
ignoring the first.
instill? No, I'm not. He fulfilled the law. Jesus
You are
fulfilled the law,
ignoring.
brought human nature up to the right hand of the Father.
Do not think I came to
You don't
abolish
even
the
know the
law.
theology, bro, and you're sitting here arguing. Argue a Protestant or some Calvinist, bro, not me. Not me. I watched your argument. Does not apply to me.
You watch which argument? What
With
are you
some
talking about?
Calvinist. With some Calvinist. Was that you?
I have argued with a Calvinist. It was, I think, the first one I did actually.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay,
I'm not a Calvinist, so don't use your arguments towards them for me.
I don't care. It doesn't matter whether you're a Calvinist. You do believe in the Gospels, don't you? The Eastern
While
Orthodox
older
Church.
Mosaic laws legally regulated how slaves should be treated to prevent cruelty in a fallen society, Christ's
No, it
teachings
didn't.
mandate treating others exactly as you wish to be treated. So, do I wish to be a slave? Nope.
In the New Testament, it says, "Slaves, obey your masters, even the cruel ones."
Yeah, that's their position. He's not saying, masters, you should own slaves, is he?
He's not saying they shouldn't. He can tell you
So
not to eat
shut up and
shellfish.
stop being dishonest, dude.
I'm not being dishonest at
You
all.
are. You just lied. Why are you even
About
bringing that
what?
up if it's not what he said?
Lied about what?
When he tells a slave to obey their masters, he is telling someone to take up their cross and be obedient. Because what is a slave going to do? Run away and die? They could. They could do that. And Christ, and maybe they get away. Christ is telling them to take up their cross.
Why are
Just
you
as
ignoring?
I take up my cross, doing whatever it is, working every day as a wage slave. Slaves,
Why
obey
is
your masters.
right? And if your boss beat you so severely that you almost died but managed to hang
Oh
on
my
for three
God, like
days,
making us go up huge ladders and, beating our bodies all day. Slavery is
if
a
your
little different, but it's not gone.
if your boss beat you so bad that you died but only after 3 days, would he be punished?
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't if he was a Hebrew slave owner.
Are we Hebrews?
No, but that's when
No, but I'm
the
making
law
stuff
was
up right now
written.
to try to make you look bad. Yeah, so stop being dishonest.
I'm not being dishonest.
What
Do
does
you
the
believe that?
Hebrew have to do with us?
Because that was the society for which the Old Testament was written. So if
Right.
you're
What was
saying
the
that
New
you,
Testament written for?
the New Testament, well, Jesus said that he came for the lost sheep of Israel,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's
Not the
Israel?
Gentiles.
Who's Israel? Dude, it said, and guess what Paul says right after that? There is no Jew or Gentile in
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Paul says that. Paul has
Yeah,
never
and
met
Paul
you.
is given the authority from Christ.
No, Paul never met
Yes,
Jesus.
stop arguing from a Calvinist point of view. In St. Paul, we look to St. Paul for authority as well, just as
Yeah,
we
I
look
know
to
you
all
do.
the saints.
The problem is that Paul's
The
religion is
problem is
actually,
that you're making stuff up right now.
no, I'm not.
You
Paul's
are.
religion, Paulianity, if you like, is
Pauline
actually,
Christianity.
it actually change. It actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Diverts of
Cool,
various
that's not what
secular.
I am. I'm an Eastern Orthodox.
Right.
So stop making up stuff that doesn't apply
But
to me.
you're telling me that you take your messages from Paul. And I'm saying that Paul disagreed with Jesus in
I
some key
take some,
points.
we don't isolate anybody except Christ. And even Christ, we look at with all the fathers and the church. The word of God, we don't worship the Bible. Who made the Bible? Do you even know that? Do you even know where the Bible came from? The Orthodox Church wrote the Bible and held ecumenical councils to put it together and decide what canon was. They are the ones who decided what books go in the Bible that you read
Yeah, I
today.
am
And
aware of that.
are
I am
you? So
aware of that.
why are you arguing against the people who wrote the Bible? You have no idea what they even said.
Um, yes, I do. I also understand about the Great Schism of 1054 as well. I do get
Okay.
the history and the split between your two branches of
Okay.
Catholicism.
And
I
which one
understand
of
that.
those was the original?
Well, that's a big issue that you two can fight about. I
Orthodox
don't care.
Church.
Well, I don't care really.
Because you don't know.
Oh, well, I understand both arguments. I don't care. It's not my fight. I have
What are
no
both
dog in this
arguments?
fight. I think that
What
they
are
are
both
both based
arguments?
upon nonsense.
What are both arguments?
Oh, right. The Roman Catholic argument is to do with the fact that Peter was in Rome and was given the keys, and
It's the
Peter was the.
filioque, dude.
Well, yeah, okay. That's what the schism was about, but that's not the argument of authority.
That's the
The
reason the
argument of
schism
authority,
happened.
the
But anyways,
filioque,
keep going. I don't
is
care
what
about
the
this.
argument was about. That's why Pope Leo sent Humbert de Silva Candida in 1054 and ended up, well, because he wouldn't see him, and then de Candida got all annoyed, and um, he excommunicated what's the word you use? It's not Pope, is it? The head of your church, and then Leo got excommunicated, but it turns out he was already dead. Yes, I do understand this stuff.
Good for you. Do you know the
Well,
theology?
I also
Why?
think I
Do you
also
know
think
the
it's nonsense.
theology of why that was the biggest problem?
Yes, it's to do with the machinations of the Trinity.
I'm impressed. Good job.
But, but I'm not gonna waste my time on answering these quizzy questions when you won't even let me make a point. You interrupt me
Go
all the
ahead.
time.
Because you're just lying constantly.
No, I'm not lying. You just will not allow me to finish a
Go
sentence.
ahead.
And then, instead of allowing me to finish, you straw man what you assume I was going to say and then accuse me of dishonesty. And I'm sorry, but that's not the way to have a reasonable discussion, Joshua.
Want to have a meta conversation?
I've just had one, and I think that's enough for me. I'm
Me
not going
too.
to waste any more of my time on this. We've done an hour in which you have strawmanned me, interrupted, and basically produced nothing of value. And
What
I'm just going to
worldview would
call it
produce
here.
better societies?
I'm just going to end it here. I'm really not
Have a
interested in
good
any
one,
more
dude.
of this. Bye.